Try to remember last Tuesday. Not a birthday, not a disaster, not the day something went wrong. Just the last completely ordinary Tuesday of your life. You lived every minute of it. 16 hours awake, fully conscious, there for all of it. And right now, almost none of it is left. A blur, maybe a meal, a feeling. The rest is simply gone. Here is the part nobody tells you. That is not a failure of your memory. That is your memory working exactly as designed. Your brain did not lose last Tuesday, it deleted it deliberately to protect you. We grow up believing memory is a recording, that somewhere in there is a tape of our life, most of it just hard to reach. That is not how any of it works. Your brain is not a camera, it is an editor with a very aggressive delete key. And it is running all day, every day, deciding what almost nothing gets to stay. Once you understand how much it throws away, and why, the strange feeling that your life is speeding up starts to make a very cold kind of sense. Start with the scale of the deletion. Studies of everyday forgetting suggest that within about 24 hours, most of the specific detail of an ordinary day is already unrecoverable. Not fuzzy, gone. Your brain runs a brutal filter, roughly, is this new? Is this dangerous? Is this useful? Will I need this again? Almost everything you experience fails that test and gets quietly wiped before it ever becomes a lasting memory. You are not keeping your life, you are keeping a highlight reel that your brain edits in real time, and the cuts are ruthless. And this deleting is not a flaw. It is the whole point. There are rare people who genuinely cannot forget, who can recall almost every day of their lives in full detail. It sounds like a gift. They often describe it as exhausting. Old arguments stay as sharp as the day they happened. Grief never fades into something softer. Forgetting is not your brain breaking down. Forgetting is mercy. It is the thing that lets a wound become a scar, instead of an open cut you feel forever. But your brain does something stranger than deleting. When it does keep a memory, it does not store it finished and sealed. Every time you pull a memory up, you rebuild it from fragments, and then you save it again slightly changed. Your most precious memories are the ones you revisit most, which means they are the ones you have quietly rewritten the most. The childhood moment you are surest of may be the one furthest from what actually happened. You are not remembering the event anymore. You are remembering the last time you remembered it. This is why two people who lived through the same day will swear to two different versions, and both will pass a lie detector. Neither is lying. Each one is honestly reading a memory their own brain has been editing for years. In experiments, psychologists have planted entirely false memories in ordinary people, whole events that never happened, and the subjects defended them with total confidence, adding details, emotion, certainty. The confidence you feel about a memory tells you almost nothing about whether it is true. It only tells you how many times you have loaded it. Now go back as far as you can. For almost everyone, the first 3 or 4 years of life are a near total void. A few flickers at most. You were awake for all of it, learning faster than you ever will again, walking, talking, loving the people around you. And your brain kept almost none of it. This has a name, childhood amnesia, and part of the reason is that the brain regions that file long-term memories were still being built. Your earliest years, the ones that shaped you the most, are the ones you can never visit. You are, in a real sense, missing the beginning of your own story. There is even a gap hiding inside this exact moment. Several times every second, your eyes flick to a new spot. And during each of those quick jumps, your brain briefly goes blind, because the motion would smear the image. It edits those blackouts out completely and stitches the world back into one smooth, continuous scene. Add it up, and you spend a real fraction of every waking day functionally blind. And you have never once noticed, because your brain simply deletes the gaps and hands you a seamless story it wrote itself. And this is where the deleting turns into something you can actually feel. Ask why a year felt endless when you were 8 and vanishes in a blink now. One big reason is memory. Your brain does not measure time by the clock. It measures it by how much new, distinct experience it filed. Childhood is wall-to-wall first everything, so it lays down dense, thick memory, and the year feels huge in the rear view. As an adult, days repeat. Same route, same screens, same walls. Your brain sees little worth keeping, files almost nothing, and hands back a thin, compressed year that feels like it lasted a month. So the speed of your life is really the speed of your forgetting. A summer full of new places and new faces stretches long in memory. A summer of routine collapses into almost nothing, no matter how many days it actually held. Time is not accelerating. Your brain is just recording less and less of it, because less and less of it is new. The years feel short because you are barely saving them. None of this is a disorder or a sign something is wrong with you. This is the standard human brain doing exactly what it evolved to do: keep you alive and functional, not keep a complete archive. It has always been more interested in what helps you survive the next hour than in preserving the last one. The erasing is not the malfunction, the erasing is the design. We just rarely stop to feel how much of us it quietly takes. But buried in that cold machinery is the one piece of control you actually have. If your brain saves what is new, then novelty is the only real currency of a life that feels long. Not more time, more first times. The trip to somewhere you have never been will outlast 100 identical Tuesdays. The unfamiliar road home tonight will survive when the usual one is already erased. You cannot add years to your life, but you can hand your brain more worth keeping, and in the only place that time is really measured, that is the same thing. So go back to last Tuesday, the one that was already gone when we started. It is not coming back. Your brain made its decision about that day a long time ago, and it decided you did not need to keep it. The real question is not where all those erased days went. It is the one waiting quietly ahead of you. When you look back in 10 years, how much of the life you are living right now will your brain have judged worth saving? Because whatever it keeps, that, and only that, will have been your life. The rest you lived and will never know you lost.